Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, one of the busiest people in Nevada, Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony, is here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. Big R in Sparks is located on Bering Boulevard next to Smith's and across from Reed High School. It's a 50,000 square foot hardware store and a whole lot more. It's your spring headquarters with lawn and garden supplies, power equipment, and outdoor living. Big R on Bering Boulevard in Sparks next to Smith's and across from Reed High School. Big R, hardware and a whole lot more.
Carson Valley Inn, it's your place for the good times. Carson Valley Inn.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from Las Vegas. We are delighted to welcome to the program for the first time in his official capacity, Stavros Anthony. He's the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada. Welcome, sir.
Great to be with you, Sam.
Thank you. I texted you about this the other day. You are everywhere. I mean, I've never seen any lieutenant governor, or even governor for that matter, what is going on with you?
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I've had that comment from quite a few people that they seem to see me everywhere, and that's really, when I'm not president of the Senate, my responsibility is tourism, transportation, economic development, supporting small businesses. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be out there promoting tourism in Nevada. I'm going to be out there supporting small businesses. I'm going to be out there talking about economic development, and you don't do that in your office, as far as I'm concerned. You do that by going out into the community, talking to folks, and while I'm there, I might as well take some pictures and put it on social media. Yeah.
All right, so what are you hearing?
About what?
All those different areas. I mean, start with one. What's the most frequently offered refrain that you're hearing from people?
Well, when it comes to tourism, what I'm hearing is that Las Vegas has a pretty robust tourism support system. Reno has a pretty robust tourism support system, but the rest of the state, the rural areas, we kind of forget about them. We kind of forget about the great things that are happening in Elko, the reason for people to go to Ely and check out Ely, the reason to go to Great Basin National Park, and not only for people that live in this state. We want people in this state to go visit Zion and Bryce Canyon, but there's some places that are absolutely awesome in the state of Nevada. So we want to make sure that people in Nevada visit the entire state of Nevada, that people outside of Nevada and the rest of the United States come to Nevada and enjoy our tourism industry, and really all over the world. We want people to come to Nevada, not just Las Vegas and Reno, which are obviously spots, but travel the rest of the state. We got some great places to visit, and that's really my primary job, is to go out there and let people know what's happening in the state of Nevada. So I'll be doing road shows all over the state. I already have 2 planned involving the Cowboy Corridor up in Elko. I have another one set up for Ely and Great Basin. So I'm going to be out there being the face of tourism to make sure that people are really exploring the entire state.
I was involved with Virginia City for many years with their tourism, and as part of that, the Lieutenant Governor's Office puts on a conference each year where all of it's called the Rural Round, or it used to be called the Rural Roundup. I'm not sure if it still is, but all those little communities would get together and talk about things. And it seems to me that one of the ways that you could boost rural tourism is by getting businesses in the bigger cities in Nevada to be able to sponsor things. So, for example, in Sparks, you've got the world's largest sporting goods store. Put together a plan with Shields where you can have a tour that goes into Eureka or to Elko or to Ely or wherever, and utilize the sporting equipment that they have at Shields to be able to do whatever it is you want to do there in the great outdoors. It seems like there could be some great partnerships between the urban areas and the rural areas that would benefit both.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I may even steal that from you, but
Please do.
We do. You brought up Rural Roundup. We just had one recently in Mesquite, where people from all over the state came to Mesquite to talk about rural tourism, and it was interesting. I attended it, and the comments I received from folks were, we never have the Lieutenant Governor come to a Rural Roundup. We don't have the Lieutenant Governor really paying attention to the small tourism businesses all over the state of Nevada, and they really appreciated me coming out and taking an interest and talking about what I plan on doing as far as tourism is concerned. So, as the chair of the Tourism Commission, and I basically operate the Department of Tourism, and I'm also the chair of Outdoor Recreation for Nevada, those will be the two that I will be focused primarily on as Lieutenant Governor. But as I mentioned, I'm involved in transportation, supporting small businesses, so I'll be focused on those two. And I just recently had a bill passed in the legislature that supports small businesses.
All right, well, we'll get back to that in just a moment. I got a couple more things on the tourism aspect here in rural Nevada. One of them is Dark Skies, which out there in White Pine County for the Great Basin National Park, that is one of the great places. If you've thought you've ever seen stars, have you been out there yet, or are you heading out there soon?
Yes, that's one of my road trips, is to go out to Great Basin and do the Dark Skies. And really, I mean, you're pretty obviously well versed in rural tourism. You know what's going on, but a lot of people in Nevada don't. They don't know what's going on in the state of Nevada, and that's going to be my job, is to make sure I get out there and let people know and talk about Dark Skies and talk about some of these other areas to get them to come and visit those areas. They should.
Is the state still providing money to all these rural entities to be able to promote themselves?
Yes, as that's what the Tourism Commission does, and like I said, I'm the chair. We, in fact, we'll be going through this very shortly, where we have a big pot of money, and we're gonna provide grants to rural areas that actually put in for grants. They ask for a certain amount of money. We take a look at the program. Obviously, we can't give everybody the amount of money that they want, but we try to support everybody a certain way. So we're actually going through that process right now. We'll be funding grants to rural areas in the state to support their tourism industry.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back much more with the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada after this timeout.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Safety is the #1 priority for the trucking industry. Over $7 billion a year is spent on technology like this electronic eye that will apply the brakes automatically. But the most important factor for safety is the truck driver. These hardworking men and women who safely move over 70% of our nation's freight and 94% of Nevada's. We thank you, because trucks move America forward.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today. at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Stavros Anthony. He is the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada. You said part of your portfolio is small business. Tell me about what your interactions have been so far with small business and what you would like to see.
Well, it is part of my responsibility is supporting small businesses in the state of Nevada, and the way I see that happening is number one, trying to reduce regulations, trying to reduce fees, trying to reduce licensing requirements, make it easier to open up a business in the state.
How is that going?
Well, the big thing is I sponsored a bill, SB 24, in the legislature that basically creates the Office of Small Business Advocacy in the Lieutenant Governor's office, staffed by 3 people. And I introduced the bill at the beginning of the session, and it passed at 11:30, sine die,
wow.
which was close.
Boy, you were breathing hard at that point.
I was. But now we have an office where a small business, and I'm talking about a small business, 2 or 3 people that want to open up a food truck or something like that. They can call our office and say, hey, I don't know what licensing requirements there are. I don't know what the regulations are. I don't know who to talk to. Do I talk to the state, the county, the city, the health department? So they'll call us and we'll take care of all that for them. We'll find out what the business is. We'll call around, make sure we get all the information. It's a one-stop shop. We give that to the business owner, and that'll cut their time by 80% when it takes so long to find out what this is. So I'm really happy about having this office where we can really get people that are scared to open up a business, get them to understand that we can help them, and let's get you open. Let's help you grow and prosper and hire more people and start making some money.
One of the things I would suggest that you add to that list is to explain to them how the tax situation works and all the regulations that you have to follow, because that's got to be the scariest thing for a new business. Is you go in all excited about whatever your product is, and then all of a sudden 6 months, a year in, it's suddenly, I have to pay what? I have to.
Right.
That's a big deal.
It is. No, and that is important, and we're going to take a look at that. But the other side of this office is once we are going through this process of helping small businesses finding out what these regulations and licensing requirements are, if we find some that are just really onerous or just stupid, we don't even know why businesses have to go through it, we're going to make a nice laundry list, and we're going to, some things could be taken care of by the governor, so I'll go to the governor and say, hey, these are some issues that you could do on your own as the executive, or some of them would be legislative. So we're going to make a list for the next legislative session, and we're going to be advocates for doing away with all these regulations and licenses that are really, they're not needed anymore. So that's the kind of the other side of what we'll be doing as the Office of Small Business Advocacy.
All right, well, how was your relationship with the governor through a session? Were you able to communicate with him and he with you?
Yes, I mean, Governor Lombardo and I have known each other since we were both captains at the Las Vegas Police Department.
Right.
So we interacted on the police department, and obviously he became sheriff. I went to the Las Vegas City Council, but I was on the Fiscal Affairs Committee, which oversees the budget for Metro when he was sheriff. So we interacted there all the time, and we interacted, on a regular basis during the session. He was busy doing his thing. I was busy being president of the Senate, but we would meet every once in a while just to kind of see what each of us was looking at and what we should be dealing with. So yeah, we have a great relationship.
Let me ask you this, because I always find it interesting when people go from one area of government to another. You were on the Las Vegas City Council, as you mentioned. What's the difference between being on the Las Vegas City Council to being a lieutenant governor and dealing with the legislature?
That's a great question. Let's take a look at the Las Vegas City Council. Las Vegas City Council is in primarily one place in City Hall. The mayor's there, the entire City Council, the city manager, the directors, so everybody's in one place. We started things on time. We ended them on time.
Well, that was a whole new world for you then with the legislature.
You could stop in somebody's office and talk to them personally about something. It seemed like it was easier to get things done. In the legislature and in state governments, the state government is so huge, it's spread out all over the state of Nevada. It's really hard to communicate when it comes to the entire state government. And the other thing is, I noticed you laugh, but the legislative session is one of the most chaotic, unorganized events I've ever been involved in my life. Nothing started on time. You never know what was going to happen next. It was just, you'd sit around at the beginning of the session. We'd go a week and not have a floor session. And then on sine die, when the session is going to be over with at midnight, we're blasting through bills like crazy. So it was just, I'm not used to that. Being a police officer and a member of the city council, I'm used to having things organized, ready to go, on time, and that was not the case with the legislature. So it was kind of drove me crazy a little bit.
It's funny. For many years, my nonprofit, Nevada Newsmakers Outreach, put on dinners during the legislative session. And Charlie Aboud of Adele's said to me, you can plan to start the dinner at 6, but the legislature is a living, breathing organism,
right,
and it will do whatever it's going to do, and they will show up when they're ready. And so we always prepared meals that could be held just in case, and in some cases, the honorees weren't able to be there until an hour or 2 hours after the time. So yeah, it's a whole different thing to try and deal with that. But yeah, crazy to say the least. Let's take a break. Got a lot more for you after this timeout.
Remember 2010 in Northern Nevada, 13 to 14% unemployment, thousands of homes in foreclosure, Nevada's casinos closing? Families in the Reno-Sparks area were hurting. Many were losing everything. Then Story County launched a game changer for our region, a public-private industrial partnership, streamlined permitting, slashed bureaucracy, attracting Fortune 500 companies that made Nevada their home. Story County generated a river of cash to area communities. Economic studies by the state and others for the Gigafactory consistently show positive economic benefits for our region. $4 billion in local wages, $17 billion in consumer spending and economic activity, over $100 million in taxes to Washoe, Story, Reno, Sparks, and Nevada, just for the Gigafactory alone. Story County, improving Northern Nevada one industry at a time.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Stavros Anthony. He's the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada, but a former member of the City Council of Las Vegas. I'm going to ask you this, and if you choose not to answer, that's fine. But we have an election for mayor coming up after 25 years of the Goodmans, which has been an incredible run with Oscar and Carolyn, but that's coming to an end. Do you have any thoughts on the candidates and who you would like to see replace Carolyn?
Well, let me first say, it was an honor working with Oscar Goodman, and then with Carolyn Goodman. I was the mayor pro tem for a number of years under Carolyn Goodman, and they were both mayor for a long time, but they did some great things for the city of Las Vegas. The downtown Las Vegas is completely different because of Oscar and Carolyn Goodman, and it was great to be on a city council that supported moving that along. The second question, I'm not getting involved.
All right. Okay. Well, and that's I thought I would throw that out there.
I appreciate that.
There's another one. You did a very classy thing. You were in a very tight election for the county commission, and eventually you just walked away and said enough. But it was really close. You could have fought for a lot longer. In the end, did you feel that the election was fair? That you were comfortable with the result?
Well, that is a long story, and that's a long answer.
I got 5 minutes.
Well, part of it was, the election was close. It was 10 votes.
10 votes.
10 votes, and that is what it is. We did a recount. Went from 10 to 30 votes, and then back to 15. So it was eventually 15 votes. But there's not much I could do that. The issue that was really agonizing for me was when the election director went to the Clark County Commission and said, "Hey, the election results are 10-vote loss. The problem is I have 169 ballots that I can't account for. I don't know who they voted for." So he said during the county commission that you really shouldn't do a special election because I don't know who won. I can't determine how these 169 people voted, so I don't know who actually won. And I recommend you do a special election. And the Clark County Commission voted, I believe, 7-0 to hold the special election. And then 2 weeks later, politics kicked in and they reconvened and they voted 7-0 to certify the election. That really upset me because they should have held a special election. It was the right thing to do, and the county commission didn't do the right thing in that instance. So, but you know what? That's politics. I moved on, and I think God was looking out for me because I ended up being the lieutenant governor for the great state of Nevada, and this is a great public service position to be in. I really enjoy it.
All right. So April Becker is going to take on your previous opponent, Ross Miller. What are your thoughts on that race?
I think she's got a great shot. Let's face it, when you look at Ross Miller's track record on the Clark County Commission, what are his accomplishments? I can't count any. I don't know of any. So I think April Becker's got a great shot at winning that. I only lost by 10 votes, and she's got great name recognition. She's got a great reputation. She's a hard worker when it comes to campaigning. So that's going to be a very, very close race.
How much money do you think it's going to take in this cycle for he and she to raise?
I believe I raised and spent about $1 million. So
amazing.
It could be. It's probably going to be a $2 million race at minimum. Yeah,
it's a stunning number for a county commission race.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But the Clark County Commission does have a lot of authority over what happens in Clark County. So it's a fairly powerful position, and that's why there's so much money thrown into it.
I'm not sure that you'll be able to agree or disagree, but there are those that have said over the years that the chairman of the Clark County Commission is more powerful than the governor.
There's some truth to that, absolutely, in some ways, yes.
As you've looked at the machinations over the Tesla deal and the movie studio deal and the baseball stadium deal, just give us a quick rundown. We got about a minute and a half here.
Well, when it comes to Tesla, that's a whole different area. We have what's called the Governor's Office of Economic Development. I sit on that board, and this is a statutory department where people can come in, and if they're going to open up a new business in Nevada or expand their business, they can go to GoEd, apply for tax abatements. There's a whole checklist that they have to abide by, and if they meet those checklists, then it comes to the board, and we approve it. And obviously Tesla was a big one. It was like $350 million abatement, but most of the abatements
on a $3.5 billion project.
On a $3.5 billion project, but most of the abatements that we give out are small businesses. They're 50 employees, 100 employees, $250,000 abatement, $100,000 abatement. So that system's in place. There's statutes behind that. There's like I said, a checklist. The film industry and the A's is completely different. It's a standalone. They're asking for certain things on top of abatements. So that's a whole different discussion process that is happening. Well, the film industry, that bill's dead. The A's are obviously going through that right now.
Okay. Do you think, and as we're taping in this on the morning of the 14th of June, so people know the timeline, do you think there's going to end up being a special session on the movie studio deal?
I have not heard there's going to be a special session on the movie deal.
But do you think that's potential?
The governor can always ask for a special session, and I know there's a lot of interest from a lot of people to have the movie studios here. So it'll be up to the governor. I don't know what he's thinking there, if he'll do that or not.
All right. Well, listen, I thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And congratulations on your new role. And like I said, you're everywhere, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Great to be with you, Sam, and I'll come on anytime you need me.
Thank you, sir. And we'll be right back. Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Hi, I'm Renee Summerauer, digital news anchor here at 7 at 7. Watch our streaming nonstop newscast immediately with your mobile phone. 7 at 7 is the new way for you to get every bit of local news you need in just 7 minutes. Breaking news, local neighborhood news, weather, and sports are just a click away. Reporters bring you all of what's happening in the Valley. From Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube, and more. Get every bit of local news you need from the RJ and LVRJ.com.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Carson Valley Inn, it's your place for the good times. Carson Valley Inn.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. We'll see you on the next broadcast.